Hey, it's Mark again. Assuming that worked, you just saw a time lapse of me tearing the Tester bandsaw apart. So a few things I've come across so far. It's pretty interesting. The wheels are cast iron, which surprises me. It seemed like smaller bandsaws, a lot of times they do cast aluminum just because it's cheaper and lighter. The on-off switch is actually broken off, so that needs to be replaced, but again, that's easy and cheap. Little rubber thing that stops it when it gets all the way to the bottom, that's totally dried out and packed full of metal shavings, so I'll replace that. The guides I haven't really looked at too hard yet, but I might end up replacing those bearings just for the heck of it. They just look like skateboard bearings, and they're kind of crusty, and if they are skateboard bearings, they're real cheap. So I'll probably replace those just for fun. Other than that, the guides I think are all pretty good. The gearbox is right here, and it seems to turn nice and smooth, but while I have it out, I think I'm probably gonna take it apart, give it an oil change. I don't know what was going on in the case of the bandsaw. It had some big stickers that somebody had tried to grind off, and then I guess that wasn't ugly enough, so they put black spray paint over that. But I got most of that cleaned off. Yeah, that's really it. Other than the drive wheel, there's this wheel has a bronze bushing, and that seemed to be turning just fine, not excessively worn, so they must have kept it oiled. No complaints yet. I'm going to spend a little more time, probably off camera, cleaning up the base and stuff, and then maybe I will put up another video of me putting it back together and giving it a test. It's weird because it says on the wheel, somebody wrote 81-inch blade. On the side of the machine, it says 80.5-inch blade. So I don't know who to believe. I don't have a blade welder, so I'm gonna have to order one. And I don't want to order one that's too short or too long, but there appears to be quite a bit of adjustment. So I am going to take a chance and order one or the other, and we'll see what happens. Oh, another interesting thing. Trying to research this, I told you in the first video that it was a small company in Wisconsin, went out of business in the 80s. That's all true. I looked up, it was owned by a farm implement company, and when I looked for that, all I could really find was a famous court case about who owns companies, and once they change hands, who's responsible for what and everything, unfortunately, because some child got mauled in one of their farm, called it like a chopper box or something. I don't know. I'm not a farmer. But anyway, upon some more searching, it looks like the Greenlee bandsaws from that period are identical. Maybe I'll put up a couple pictures comparing the two here while I'm blabbing about it, but it sure looks to me that the Greenlee bandsaws from this era are the same thing. They're the same color. They look identical other than the nameplate. So right now I'm working on the hypothesis that this Tester Corporation was making bandsaws under their own name as well as the Greenlee brand name, just like so many other companies have done with, Craftsman and everything else. So if so, that's kind of cool because it might make it easier to find parts diagram. On the Greenlee website, it doesn't go back that far. They only have ones from like early 90s. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're all made overseas now, but kind of an interesting little side note there. Well, no such luck on these bearings being cheap and easy to replace. That little eccentric center is actually the inner race of the bearing. I thought that was just a bushing. And then this one has a weird extended race built in as well. Well, upon further inspection, I think these bearings are actually normal bearings with aluminum inserts pressed in. Because after I got them cleaned up, I could see these were aluminum, and there's no way they're going to make a bearing race out of aluminum. So I'm going to enlist the help of a new little punch that I got in that auction and see if these press out. So you're about to find out with me. There we go. That's good news, knowing that these 6 bearings are all the same thing and they're all somewhat normal. I took the measurements real quick. It looks like 23 millimeter OD, 11 millimeter ID, 8 millimeter width. I'm gonna do some checking. I'm sure I'll find them. Order some bearings, order a belt, get a switch, a new rubber stopper, maybe some new tires for the wheels. But I think this thing's gonna be ready to go. So, thanks for following me along on this little adventure. I will see you when I put it back together.